Hello, second channel viewers, how are you doing? I have a little video for you today. It's also me sort of reaching out to ask you for a little bit of help and advice if anybody has any suggestions. Massive thank you, by the way, to everyone who's recently subscribed to this channel. We had a video a few days ago start going sort of viral, semi-viral on this channel, which is amazing. 70,000 views is certainly not the standard of viral that people expect, but for me on this channel, that's a lot of views, so thank you very much. I have bought a couple of cool things. Let me show you. So this right here is a Game Boy sewing machine. It's an officially licensed product. Nintendo have actually licensed it, and it is for the Game Boy. It's officially for the Game Boy. Plugs in with a link cable. You've got a cartridge which goes into the back. It's made by Jaguar in the in Japan. It's made by Jaguar in Japan, and then in the US it was made under a different name, and I don't believe it was actually released in the UK. Might be wrong. I've got another one. That one was in quite bad condition, and I managed to find another one. These things aren't too expensive. You know, you sort of get them for about £150 or something. But because they're so big, they are quite expensive to ship, but to anywhere in the world other than Japan. But because I buy so much from Sendico, I was able to just put it in with a bunch of other stuff, and it probably was, I don't know, 50 quid to ship it or something. By the way, look at how cool the serial number is on this Game Boy. Also, this Game Boy came with it, and the condition of this Game Boy is probably an indication as to how little this thing actually got used. But they are seriously cool. Look, here's a cord which pulls out and locks, and then you go like that and it goes back in. And that leads me to my first question. What the hell do I do with that in order to avoid blowing up my sewing machine and my house? In the UK, we've got these plugs. They've got a fuse in them. Pretty similar to everywhere else in the world. It's actually only 2 pins, which is, you know, going to look a little bit more like that than that does. That top pin is like a ground pin, and it also actually acts as a key to press down on a little lever that's in there, which opens up these two little things. So basically, if you snapped off this and tried to plug in those, it won't go in. That's an interesting fact. You'd go in there. So yeah, what do I use? It's going to be some sort of transformer thing, I imagine. But if anybody has any recommendations, please send them to me. Tweet me at Elliot_Coll. I'll put that in the description. Yeah, help me, please. We'd love to figure out how to avoid blowing this up. Second question, does anybody know how to use a sewing machine? Because, I mean, there is a million things going on with this. I just do not know where to start. What does that do? What does that do? What does that do? Is there something missing from in here? Because there's a hole there. What does that do? There's a something here. There's some buttons there. This goes over there, and that's not to mention what you do with all of that. And then there's a thing here, and then when you flick it around the other side, you've got, oh, it weighs a ton. You've got more things. There's a thing here which does something. There's something there and a whole load of things there, and then also look at this. If it doesn't get any more confusing, that all pulls out, okay? And then I managed to find, and it was rather bloody expensive. Also, look at this. It's a cool little secret access hatch, and that is for this. I managed to even find the embroidery add-on. But how do you use the embroidery add-on? I mean, and the whole thing's in Japanese. Fortunately, I was able to download the ROM, I mean, that sounds dodgy, please don't arrest me, of the English sewing machine software. Could you imagine if I went to court because Nintendo was suing me for downloading the ROM of the English sewing machine Game Boy software? Imagine how many videos I'd be able to make out of that. I mean, I'd also lose my house and my life, but it would be hilarious to see that as a headline. YouTuber sued by Nintendo for illegally downloading English sewing machine software. Wouldn't that just be brilliant? So yeah, look. I mean, what is that? What is someone meant to do with a bag of stuff like that? Have I got any idea how to use any of that? No. Have you? Please, I hope so. What is this? There's a needle in there. There's more things there. That looks like it could be the thing that's meant to go in there. There's a spring attached to that. That looks like it actually moves. What is the point? Why did I even do this? I mean, I'd love to make a video on this because it's absolutely fantastic, but realistically, look, there's even a door here which is going to do something. And I appreciate this might sound like I'm making quite a big deal out of being in a fortunate position of owning some very cool retro items, but if you'd ever like to see them be used and work, then please help me, because what is even going on here? Should I just learn Japanese?